Hey everyone, get this. Imagine having a personal assistant, right? But this isn't just any assistant. This one can write you a song. It can analyze complex data. It can even help you plan your dream vacation. All in a matter of minutes. Sounds pretty amazing, right?
It does.
Well, that's the power of generative AI. And today, we're going deep, really deep, into how you can unlock its full potential. And the key is something called prompt engineering.
Oh, yeah. Prompt engineering. That's where it's at.
This is exciting stuff. And to guide us through this deep dive, we're using George Tome's book, Prompt Engineering Excellence.
Great book.
It is a great book. And trust me, it's about to get really interesting. What I love about this book is that it's packed with practical strategies that anyone can use, no matter what your technical background is.
I think what's so fascinating about this whole field of prompt engineering is that we're going beyond just using AI, We're actually learning to communicate with it effectively, almost like we're discovering a new language.
The language of prompts.
Exactly, the language of prompts.
Okay, so let's unpack this whole prompting thing. Imagine you're trying to get a friend to help you with a task. You wouldn't just mumble a few vague words and expect them to know exactly what you want, right?
No, definitely not. You've got to be clear.
Right. What would you do?
Well, you'd give them clear instructions, first of all. Then you'd give them all the information they need. And maybe even show them an example of what you're looking for.
Oh, like, hey, I'm trying to write something like this.
Exactly. And then you'd tell them what format you want the final product to be in. Like, I need this in a list, not a paragraph.
So basically, it's about giving AI crystal clear directions to get the results we want.
Precisely.
And just like with our friend, the clearer we are, the better the outcome is going to be.
Exactly. And what I find really intriguing is that you can take this concept of giving directions a step further with prompting. There are specific prompt types that are designed to tackle different kinds of problems.
Oh, interesting. Like what?
Well, one that I find particularly fascinating is called, let's think about this step by step.
Let's think about this step by step.
Okay. Yeah, it's perfect for really complex problems where you need to break down a big task into smaller steps.
So instead of feeling overwhelmed by this massive project, we can use this prompt to guide the AI and guide us through each stage of the process. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's like having an AI project manager built in. Okay, but what about when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, trying to make a really tough decision?
Well, that's where comparative prompting comes into play. This type of prompt is amazing. It's like having the AI weigh your options for you based on, specific criteria that you define.
Oh, okay. So give me an example.
Sure. Imagine you're trying to decide between different vacation spots.
Always a tough one.
Right. So you could use this prompt to compare destinations based on what you like, weather, activities, budget. You can even get into specifics like vegan restaurants or historical sites.
So instead of just getting bombarded with a ton of information, this prompt helps us make a more informed decision by comparing them head to head based on what actually matters to us.
Absolutely. And it forces you to really think about your priorities too. Like what factors are most important to you in any situation, really.
This is already blowing my mind and we're just getting started. But hold on to your hats because it's about to get even wilder. Mm-hmm. Imagine having access to this super-powered research assistant who could instantly sift through mountains of text and pull out the exact nuggets of information that you need.
Yeah.
That's what data retrieval is all about.
It really is like having a superpower for dealing with information overload. Like think about all those times you're just drowning in data, customer reviews, market research reports, even just a giant stack of academic papers.
Been there.
Right. This prompt can analyze it all, and then it extracts the specific info you're looking for, like facts, stats, quotes, whatever.
So it's not just about finding a needle in a haystack. It's like organizing the entire haystack. But get this, it doesn't stop there. George Tome also dives into some truly mind-blowing advanced techniques in his book.
Oh yeah, he does.
And we're going to unpack those right after the break. Stay with us.
We are back and ready to dive back in.
Before the break, we were talking about data retrieval and how it's like having that super-powered research assistant at your fingertips. I don't know how I ever lived without it.
Seriously, it's incredible how AI is totally changing how we work with information. Instead of just like drowning in data, you can use these prompts to kind of swim through it, You can just pull out the exact insights you need.
It's beautiful. It's poetry. So let's shift gears for a sec and talk about those advanced techniques that really blew my mind. Remember, let's think about this step by step. That prompt for tackling those super complex problems one step at a time. Tome uses the example of planning a fundraiser, but Imagine using this for something like writing a business plan.
Perfect example. Instead of staring at that blank page, just feeling completely overwhelmed, you can use that prompt to break it down into manageable steps, right? Define your target audience, outline your products or services, analyze your competitors, develop that killer marketing strategy.
Boom, boom, boom. It's like having an AI guide, just walking you through each stage, right? Making sure you don't miss a thing.
I love that, yeah. And the coolest thing, it's like how our brains work anyway. We solve complex problems by breaking them down into smaller chunks.
Right. It's true. It's true. It's like we're speaking the same language, even though one of us is a human and the other's an AI. Okay, let's talk about another one that I'm really excited about, comparative prompting. This one, I'm telling you, is a total game changer for those tough decisions that we were talking about earlier.
Totally agree. Let's say you're trying to decide between, I don't know, 2 different marketing campaigns.
Always a tough one.
Right. Use comparative prompting. Analyze them side by side. Reach, engagement, conversion rates, ROI, all of it. You can even get super granular, different platforms, ad copy variations.
Even something like the impact of different color schemes.
Exactly. Think about that.
It's like having an AI marketing consultant right there with you, crunching the numbers and helping make the most, data-driven decision. But here's what I find so cool. It's not just about spitting out numbers. This prompt can actually help you understand the why behind the data.
Yes. It's not just information, it's insights.
Right.
So the AI might be like, hey, this campaign's crushing it with a younger demo. Well, this other one really resonates with an older audience. Pure gold.
It's gold. It's like pure gold for anyone who's ever felt lost, in a sea of data.
But we have got even more mind-blowing stuff to cover, so don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll be diving into AI creates the prompt and expert critic, and trust me, you won't want to miss this. And we are back. We're diving right back into this fascinating world of prompt engineering. Now, before the break, we were talking about comparative prompting, how that can help you make those big decisions by, analyzing all your options side by side. But get ready to enter a whole new dimension of AI. We're about to explore AI creates the prompt.
Things are about to get really futuristic.
Yeah.
Imagine this. An AI that doesn't just respond to your prompts, but it can actually help you make those prompts better to get even better results.
It's like having an AI prompt whisperer, right? Like helping you craft the perfect prompt. But how does it work? Okay, let's say you're working on this project and you really need some competitive intel. You might start with a pretty broad prompt like, tell me the strengths and weaknesses of, our main competitor.
Right.
It's a decent start, but it's not very precise.
Right. It's like asking for directions, but you only have a vague idea of where you want to go.
Yeah, exactly. You might end up in the right area, but not at the exact spot. And that's where AI creates the prompt swoops in. So the AI might be like, how about we try this? Analyze the marketing strategies of competitor's name over the past year, focusing on their social media, content marketing, and paid advertising. Identify their 3 most successful campaigns and 3 that totally flopped. Give me specific examples and data.
Whoa. Talk about a glow up. That is a seriously refined prompt, laser focused.
Right. And that's what's so cool about this. It takes those initial kind of vague ideas and helps you transform them into these super powerful prompts, much more likely to give you the exact insights you need.
It's amazing. It's like next level stuff. But hold on to your hats because we are taking it up another notch. Remember, expert critic. It's like having a specialist, someone who really knows their stuff, review your work.
Ah, this is one of my favorites. Imagine you just finished this big presentation, right? Or designed this new product, or even composed a piece of music. You're feeling good, but you would love to get some feedback.
Oh, we've all been there. You need that fresh perspective, but you don't know who to ask.
Right. And that's where expert critic comes in. You tap into the AI, right? Get tailored feedback. So let's say it's that presentation. You could be like, hey, AI, analyze this from a marketing expert's view, then a data analyst, and then a public speaking coach.
Okay, so you're not just getting generic feedback, you're getting insights tailored to your field.
Exactly. The AI might say, hey, your data's good, but it could be more compelling. Your arguments, super solid, but let's make them even more persuasive. And your delivery, let's work on that stage presence.
Wow. It's like having this whole team of mentors all ready to give you feedback to help you take your work to the next level.
Exactly. And it's all powered by AI.
This has been an incredible journey, really. I got to say, I'm feeling super inspired, maybe a little overwhelmed by all the possibilities here. So as we wrap up, what are the key takeaways you want our listeners to remember?
I think the bigger one, anyone can do this. Anyone can be a prompt engineer.
You don't have to be like a tech genius.
No, not at all. It's all about communicating with AI. And remember those prompt components. Clear instructions, give it the info it needs, helpful examples, and what format you want the output in.
And don't be afraid to just play around with it.
Exactly. The more you experiment, the better you'll get at getting those awesome results from AI.
And as you get more comfortable, don't be afraid to try out those advanced techniques. AI creates the prompt. Expert critic. These can really take you from, novice to expert in no time.
It's like having a secret weapon in this age of AI. You're working smarter, not harder, unlocking the full potential of this amazing technology.
Could not agree more. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of prompt engineering. We'll be back next week with another fascinating topic, so stay tuned.